Good evening, my friends. This is the Grimflayer. Check it out. Check out that beautiful little snippet of play history. We are 4-0 in our first ever live recorded competitive league that we've featured on this channel. And this is it, guys. This is for all the marbles. This is for the 5-0. This is for immortality, potentially, in the form of having your list published. This is for the street cred. This is for everything. Or we'll just lose and we have to settle with a very, very good result of 4-1. But, so no matter how you slice it, we've had a really successful league. But let's take it home. Let's get the 5-0. We can do it, we believe. In Golgari, we believe in the colors green and black. We believe in the power of Tarmogoyf and Thoughtseize and Liliana and all the other good stuff. So let's make it happen. Join match. We're going to take the play, and our hand is not that great, actually. It's a little bit clunky, but it's functional enough to keep for sure. These trophies are a little bit awkward early. However, turn 1 Thoughtseize can go a long way. Kalidas is also pretty clunky as far as threats go, let's be honest, but okay, so this, I guess, is Amulet Titan, but it's got a really clunky opening start. Ha 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 ha. Azusa or Primetime? I guess it is just the Azusa, because we don't have a good early way to remove her. I don't think I need the game log for this particular match. Let's clear that out. I don't think I need to hold up trophy for any reason. Again, they're very bad early, but in this matchup, having access to trophy is definitely going to be good if we can't close the game out in a quick fashion. Tarmogoyf. Alright, well, would have been obviously better last turn. We drew Goyf and Tracker in the wrong order here, but that is alright. We're fairly happy to have a threat here of any kind. They've got an Ancient Stirrings, and they are going a-digging, and it's a Walking Ballista. Interesting. That's already... It's going to be a while before that can compete with our Goyf. But sure. And I think we don't need to crack this yet. We'd like to draw another land. And we have drawn another land, so I think Tracker into field is the play we want here. Kalidas would be fine as well, but this is just better in my opinion. Alright, we've kinda sorta started our clock, but they've already hit the Radiant Fountain twice, so not exactly the most impressive clock. They can play a 2-2 Ballista here and kill our Tracker. I don't care if they do that. It's gonna grow the Goyf, and we've got our value. Alright, Thoughtseize is a pretty good draw. So they're at 4 mana. They cannot cast Titan next turn unless they draw, you know, unless they draw an Amulet maybe and they have Karoo land in hand. So we still might want to Thoughtseize, but I think actually this is our window to play the Kalidas. We're not really going to get a chance to tap out for the Kalidas after this turn, so I think we have to go for him. And then next turn we get to go Thoughtseize and hold up Trophy, hold up Clue, all the good stuff. Kalitas is a clunker in this situation, there's no getting around that. But might prove worthy enough to have taken the turn off for, we shall see. Yep, so it looks like they're just continuing the old slow style ramp. Now Liliana's yet another clunky one. This time we cannot afford to really tap out for her. They've got an Emrakul. Alright, let's make sure we know what the criteria... Oh, it's the Eon's Torn? I thought it was the one where... yeah, okay. Obviously take the Titan here. So I guess this is a Breach Titan, huh? I have to say I'm not that familiar with that matchup, but we might just die to it through the Breach. I still think we hold up Assassin's Trophy, though. And Clue. Or maybe do we want a Field of Ruin activation here? We'll see. Let's attack. Alright, so yeah, just so they don't rip a Titan off the top, basically, I think we want the field. Of course we can't answer that Titan with the Trophy, but... might just see another... okay, Gemstone Mine, interesting. Trinket Mage. Alright, this can tutor up... I don't know what this deck is anymore, because this is more of an Amulet Titan card. That can tutor up EE, as I was about to say, and they sure will. So that's an out to one of our permanents. And, yep, there they go. Okay, so we can trophy that if we want to. Do we want to? Let's see what we draw. Scavenging Ooze, huh? Alright, so what are our options here? I think I like Tarmogoyf enough to want to trophy the EE here, but let's see what happens with our attack. Okay, no blocks. Interesting. So I guess we'll get our extra point of damage in here. Nah, they have... yeah, this will be an extra point with instant in the yard. And then we've obviously got to just hold up trophy. No need to play the ooze here. Okay, we got him. Alright, so I'm, maybe I should know this, but Emrakul makes me think it's got through the breach. Everything else makes me think it doesn't, right? So I really don't know what Emrakul's there for. Maybe somebody has seen this, maybe it's just a recent adaptation into the Titan decks. I really, truly couldn't tell you. So I'm just, looking through their graveyard and hand. I don't see anything too unusual. Teetering Peaks is not that usual, but then again, it's kind of a utility land that makes sense, right? So I guess we're just going to proceed as though it is good old Amulet Titan. And siding against Amulet Titan is tricky. We've got obviously the plan A to contend with, but they also are some... they bring some really powerful... what am I trying to say? Some really powerful value pieces to bear on the matchup. They've got some spicy cards like Hornet Queen out of the side that are not necessarily, you know, it's not necessarily a guarantee as to what we'll see from amongst them. So I like Deathmark, I like Pulse, I like Fulminators, and I like Surgical. Those are for sure. Everything else is probably to taste. So I get the feeling this is a matchup where we want to cut some of the slower, grindy value cards, so all of these threats are kind of in question. We probably want to trim away on Fatal Push just a tad, but still keep them around for Azusa, for sideboard tech of whatever kind, for Sakura Tribe Scout. I also don't know how good Collective Brutality is. Maybe just the one we have is sufficient. Nile Spellbomb probably doesn't do anything. I think we like everything else. So this is not a Nissa matchup. I don't like Choke. Obviously, don't like Choke. Is EE a consideration to kill Amulets, basically? Amulets and then their weenies. I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll see. I think we will keep a Tireless Tracker in from among these cards and call it good. Perhaps not the most scientific sideboarding you'll ever see, but again, I contend that siding against Amulet Titan is tricky. Fulminator Mages, Maelstrom Pulse, these are cards we definitely want. They're very, very good. Beyond that, you know, gets a little murky sometimes. I'll take this hand all day, though. We got turn 1 Thoughtseize, we got threats, we've got a Field of Ruin, and they're mulling. I will keep. Alright, they like their 6, or they like it well enough at least to not ship it against a BGX deck. Cavern of Souls, naming Snake for a turn 1 Sakura Tribe Scout, maybe? Human. Relic. Alright, so they probably have an Azusa in hand if they named Human. Relic is a good one for sure for them. Very painful turn 1 for us, but that is alright. So they only have one other land. They have Hornet Queen, Primetime, and Summoner's Pact. They're not really doing anything except exiling our graveyard at this point, so I'm not really sure what to take. I guess it's going to be the Titan. We can hit that Pact with Brutality if we want to, and Titan's easier to cast than Queen. But Queen's more of a problem. But I still think we take the lower CMC card here. Alright, so I guess they just named Human in case they drew an Azusa and all that, but right now they've got not much. And they're clearing the Titan out of their own yard, which makes sense. It's a good heads-up play. Alright, more lands is basically fine with me. I like the Bob here because we are under pressure from the Relic in terms of making our Tarmogoyf a good clock. Whereas the Bob is just always a 2-1. It's drawing us more action. Okay, they're going to get the Azusa here. Sure. But if we Field of Ruin the Simic Growth Chamber, let's see how many other lands they have. Alright, we can't quite, or can we? No, we can't quite just win. Actually, we're close. We were trying to stop them from being able to pay for the Pact. And I thought we could, then I thought we couldn't, then I thought we could. And, so on and so forth. Okay, MTGO, what's going on? Are we lagging? Don't do this to me. Don't lag on me now. Oh, please. Okay. We revealed the Verdant Catacombs. Sure. So, if we hit the Simic Growth Chamber, they go get a forest, they can pay for the Pact. They have, did they bounce a land? I don't remember. They have a Hornet Queen in hand. And one unknown. So, how big of an issue is this Azusa? Big enough. Big enough. Let's attack first, see if they want the trade. Actually, no, I don't even think I want to give them that option. I think I just kill the Azusa here. Here's the problem, though. If we don't field them, yeah, no, we just kill the Azusa. I don't care about the drain right now because all these lands are gas. All these lands are gas with a tracker in hand. Keeping their own graveyard clear. Alright, so they're on 6 mana for now. We might have to hit them with the field for that reason. Because another land drop means Hornet Queen. See what Bobby offers us, though. Thoughtseize would be wonderful here. Field of Ruin. Ooh, Fulminator Mage! Yeah, that's the play. That is the play. I would say. I think I like hitting the Boros Garrison there. They might only have one in the deck, and that's going to make a lot of their stuff worse. And when I say make a lot of their stuff worse, I of course mean, like, if they get to the point where they land a Titan, they're tutoring lands, we deal with the Titan, blah, blah, blah. But the game goes on, they can combine that Boros Garrison with some of their utility lands to make even pretty mediocre cards into reasonable threats. So we want to take them off the red-white land since we cannot really color screw them at this point, in my opinion. Okay, we're literally finding only lands, which is pretty bad. But we get to go on a rampage, bit of a rampage with Field of Ruin, so I think that's the play. And we just want the Tarmogoyf here. We've got to start clocking. Well, it's sure a good thing that we're drawing 2 cards a turn because we are finding way too many lands off the top. But at least we've got some good utility involved with them. Okay, Bojuka Bog. At least we weren't doing all that much with our graveyard anyway. But yeah, okay, Liliana the Veil. There we go. There we go. So they don't have a dual land, so I think it's Tracker into Lily into nothing. Just Tracker into Lily. And we do have another land effect, but I'm going to leave that in there for now. Shouldn't matter. We don't get to grow our Goyf this way, but I still would rather hang on to the Skoos and pitch one of our many extraneous lands. Better than growing the Goyf by 1, in my opinion. Ooh, they grow it for us anyway by pitching that Hornet Queen. Okay, well, it's looking very good for us, and we did it. We did it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of a free win, that second game. I think we did most of the things correctly, but our opponent had to mull to 6. They didn't have enough lands, but I don't think they really wanted to mull to 5 with a semi-functional hand, and then they just didn't really get going. We had a little bit too much disruption. Fulminator Mage into Fields of Ruin was pretty clutch, so even though we had a slow clock and even though we were a bit clunky, we got there. We got there, my friends. Look at this. I don't even really know what this stuff is, modern points and qualifier points. I've never been somebody who's had the desire to go try to compete in these larger tournaments, but maybe I should, now that I've got whatever these qualifier points and modern points are working me toward. This is something I'm going to need to investigate. But regardless, 16 treasure chests, 180 play points, and whatever this stuff is, pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome, if you ask me. 5-0 on the debut of live recorded competitive leagues. You can't beat that. You can't really beat that at all. Let's take a look at our good old Golgari list and see what it was that got us to the lovely 5-0. You know what, guys? It's a little bit of everything. We've got a very balanced land base that is just one black source shy of being the ideal in terms of casting, having a very high percentage chance to cast everything on curve. Admittedly, we're just one notch below ideal for that, but we're very balanced. We've got a lot of utility out of the land base, but we're not too greedy with our utility. We're only playing 3 Fields of Ruin. We're only playing 2 Treetop Village, We're not being too greedy. We're not overreaching. It's well balanced. It does a lot of work for us, as we've seen here. And we've got a little bit of everything in the main deck. I truly believe that the middle road is the way to play this deck. The 3-3 Confidant Tracker split is kind of a magic number for as far as my results go. Now, I do love the idea of more, but, the big question of what comes out is always there. I love the one of Kalidas. I love this one of Nile Spellbomb. It didn't come up that much when I first introduced it, but over time it's been more and more relevant. Really like having one Nile Spellbomb in the main deck. 3-3 Inquisition, Thoughtseize split. I love this 1-1-3 split of Decay, Pulse, and Trophy. These are cards we all like. Decay really does still shine compared to Trophy in a lot of ways. Maelstrom Pulse obviously has huge X for 1 potential, but Trophy was the big game changer. That's why we lean more heavily on Trophy, but we still don't want to leave these cards in the dust. And Fulminator Mage, this card was an MVP over this series. The Fulminator last game was insane. The Fulminators against Jeskai Control in Game 2 were even more insane. Those single-handedly won me the game when backed up by Planeswalkers. I mean, the Fulminators have been just incredible. The Planeswalkers, Nissa has been incredible out of the side. Our discard's been lining up really well. I really like having access to another Brutality. I don't know that I miss, a Duress or Blackmail effect, though. I just like having all of this stuff. If anything, it almost feels like we're still a tad too heavy on the graveyard mechanics, but, we kind of need to be, I think, still in the meta. Plus, Grafdigger's Cage is probably the first thing I would cut, and that pulls double duty against collected companies, so even though we haven't been seeing the company decks, they're still out there. Yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say. I am thrilled it hasn't really sunk in for me yet that we just 5-0'd a Comp League, but I think it will soon. And, yeah, what more can be said? I think I'm going to make no changes for now. I think that's pretty fair to say, to make that executive decision. So, wow, we got through it against Amulet Titan in round 5. Now that name Canister that we played against, I recognize that name. I don't follow the who's who of MTGO all that closely, but if I'm not mistaken, somebody I'm sure can correct me if I'm wrong, I associate that name with Lantern Control. Maybe I'm incorrect with that, maybe that's someone totally different, but I associate that name with Lantern Control. Of course, Lantern is not that prevalent in the meta right now. It seems that most people think it's poorly positioned. I don't know. I can't make a judgment on that, but that's what people say. So, if that was Canister of Lantern Control fame, I think that's a pretty big name no matter how you slice it. And, they're on Amulet Titan with Emrakul. Somebody explain that Emrakul to me as well. I'll look into all this stuff that I'm like, what's this? What's that? I'll look it all up later, but if anybody wants to share their insights on any of this stuff, I guess my questions are, 1, is Canister the famous Lantern Control guy? 2, what's an Emrakul the Eon's Torn doing in Amulet Titan? And 3, I guess I need to look into the modern play points and the qualifier points and whatever the heck else I just got. So anyway, lots of questions to be answered, but the one question that we can now answer even more definitively than we were able to before is BGX midrange. Is it bad in Modern? Is Dark Confidant bad? Is it just like, you just have to be linear, you can't interact? No. All of those are lies. None of that is true. This is what you want to be doing, in my opinion, in Modern, if the playstyle suits you. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't like long games, who doesn't like complex decision trees, who doesn't like thinking really hard about resolving a Thoughtseize, yeah, play something linear. Totally fine. I've got no qualms with that. But the notion that you can't play a fair deck in Modern is bunk. We're proving it wrong almost every time we take the field now with this deck. So, as always, guys, keep playing your Thoughtseizes, your Tarmogoyfs, your Lilianas of the Veil. They're still really, really good. They're as good as you are. They're as good as you are. And it's not like we have to outplay our opponents, you know? Like, we're against some really good people, and I didn't play perfectly throughout the series by any means, but the deck rewards mastery, that's all I can say. It rewards meta-knowledge, it rewards mastery, and it rewards your faith in it. So, keep on playing fair Magic, and thank you all so much for supporting this channel. Everybody, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and of course, the patrons, very near and dear to my heart. I couldn't do it without you. This success is yours as much as it is mine. So let's hope we get this list published. How cool would that be? We get published on our live recorded Comp League debut. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be a cherry on top. We'll have to see, but I will leave it there and stop rambling. So let me know, my friends, what you thought about that game, whether anyone has any answers to the questions that have plagued me, and yeah, this is a real feel-good moment. So, thanks for sticking with me throughout all of this. My plans for the weekend are, we've got the long holiday weekend. I'm probably going to try to record several more videos over the course of the next 3 days, because then I might go through another stretch where I'm extremely busy at work for like another 5 days after that. So, who knows, maybe I'll go through another flurry of games for you, and we'll have to see how all that plays out. But as always, stay tuned to the channel. We've got more content to come. We've got really solid gameplay videos of all kinds. We've got live, we've got replays, we got comp leagues, we got tourney practice adventures for fun, we've got friendlies, we've got it all. I'm doing analyses, I'm doing some off-the-wall stuff, so stay tuned to the channel, and I'm always listening to your feedback, and if you'd like to support me, Grimflayer MTG is on Patreon. Hit up the link below, and I would dearly appreciate it. So, thank you as always, and yeah, let's all celebrate this 5-0. Good times. Let's leave it there, and stay tuned to the channel as always. I will talk to you soon. I hope you all have a great night, and if I don't talk to you before then, a great long weekend.